Okay, hello guys. You all okay? So, hello everyone again. My name is Mohamed and this is our third lesson of Basic Python. So, welcome back. And today, let's quickly remember what we did last time in our previous lessons. Uh, in our previous lessons, we learned about variables, how to store. Welcome, Ismete.
Hello.
Hello. I was talking about what we did last lessons in the previous lesson, so let's continue.
Okay.
So let's quickly remember what we did last time. As I said, in previous lessons we learned about variables in the Python, how to store information like numbers or text, and we practiced using print function and comments, and we also learned about data types such as integer, float, string, boolean. Uh, okay, and today we're gonna move one step forward. We will learn how to make our programs think. We're gonna use if, elif, and the else statements to make Python choose what to do depending on some conditions. And then later, we gonna learn also use input to get input function to get answers from the user. And this mm, input function is also comes with Python. It's built-in function. And at the end, we'll create a simple program that checks if a person can get a driver's license. So let's start with share my screen and check everything is okay. Okay. So let's open our Visual Studio Code. And this is what we do in the last lesson, by the way. You can check it out. We learn how to create variables. We do an example like this. We learn we can add some data types into variables. And this was a string, this was the integer, this was the floats, and this was the Boolean data type. And we were checking it from this code. And we also learned the comment code, as you see. The Python was not reading this code. So let's check it out again. As you see, let's take a look at the first name variable type. And as you see, it's gonna write the type as a string because it's a string, it's a characters, it's word. So let's check it out to the age variable. It's gonna be an integer because it's an integer, so it's a number. It's gonna be an integer as you see. And let's check out the height. And the height's gonna be float because it's a what was that? It's a decimal number. It's a float data type because it's a decimal number, as you see, at 170.5. And lastly, we take a look at the human variable. And as you see, it says bool, so that means Boolean data type. So let's delete all this and let's clear our terminal. Okay, so today, as I said, we're going to learn if else and the elif statements. So what does it mean in Python? start with this. In real life, we make decisions all the time. We say things like, if it rains, I'll take an umbrella. Or, for example, if I finish my homework, I can play a game, or I will play games. And so, in Python, we can also make decisions like this. We use if statements to tell the computer like if this condition is true, do this thing. Uh, we made a computer to do something. As I said, if the condition is true, or if the condition is true, do this thing. So the basic structure looks like this. If condition is, you need to do an action. Basic structure works like this. So when the condition is true, Python runs the action, and if the condition is false, it skips it. So let's do a simple example. Let's start with simple example. So let's create a variable called number. So variables should equal to some value, should be equal to some value. So we need to add some value to it. This is a number, so we need to give an integer data type to it. So let's give 10. So okay, um, let's make the if statements. We're going to write if, let's make if number is greater than 5, the program should write something. So let's do this program. We're going to write greater symbol, and we're going to write 5, and we're going to write this and come to the other line, and we're going to write print. We forgot to add our variable, by the way. If number is greater than 5, we write something. So let's write here the number is greater, I'm sorry, greater than 5. So let's debug it. And as you see, the number is greater than the 10. The 10 number is greater than the 5. So program run this if statement, and it writes the number is greater than 5. So we have a variable number with value 10. The condition is number greater 5, and 10 is a greater than 5. So condition is true, and Python prints this message as I said. And if we change the number to 2, the condition becomes false, so Python prints nothing. So this is how Python makes decisions. It checks whether something is true or false. So let's make it 2. Let's make the number 2. And as you see, it prints nothing. It writes nothing, as you see, because number is not greater than the 5. So let's add something to our little program. So age is, let's create a new variable called age, and it's gonna be, must equal something, as I said. So let's make it 16. And okay, let's continue with the else statement. Before the else statement, we need to create an if statement, because if there is no if statement, you can't use else, because there is nothing else if there is nothing. So let's write if. Let's make it. Let's make a program like checks your age, that you're an adult or not, checking the adult age. So the adult age is 18, so we need to like if we can need to like write if age is greater or equal than 18, we need to go down, and as you see, we need to do a little tap here because the structure is like this in the Python. So we need to write print. Let's open our quotation mark and let's write you are an adult. Because if you're at uh, 18 age, or if you're greater than 18 age, if you're bigger than 18 age, you're an adult. So let's make it. Let's come to the down and let's write else. Else means in this code, if you're not um, if you're not greater than 18, you're not an adult. So we need to write print you are not an adult. And as you see, this program is not running if you don't press stop here, because this is the structure of if-else statement in the Python. So you need to use this like this. So when you run it, our age was 16, so it says we are not an adult because the condition checks if age is 18 or more. If it's true, the first message appears. If it's not, the second message appears. So our uh, our outs what was it? Our input is 16, so it gives the second uh, statement. So if you make it 19, it's gonna say you're an adult, or if you make it 18, we said higher or equal to 18, so it's gonna write you're an adult, and as you see, it works well. So this way, your program always has two possible paths, one for true and one for the false. Okay, so let's continue with use and elif statement. So sometimes we have more than two choices. In that case, we use elif, which means else if. Elif is a function, so it's like else if, but it's written like elif. So let's do another thing. Let's do a program that tell the day is hot or cold according to the temperature. So we need to create a temperature variable called temperature. So let's write temperature, and it's a variable, so it needs to equal something. We put equal symbol here, and let's write 25 degrees. So let's create our if statement first, as we do in our uh, other examples. So we're going to write temperature is higher, greater than 30 Celsius degrees. Let's write, um, we open our question mark, quotation marks, and we're going to write, it's a really hot day. Okay, so we're going to need another statement here. So we cannot use if again. So we need to use else if. So that was like elif in the Python, so we need to use elif. The temperature, we are given another condition because that's why we are using elif, as I said. So if the temperature is equals to 20 or higher than 20, and let's write print, let's open our quotation marks. Let's write it's a warm day, really nice time to walk. Let's write like this. These are not so important. So we need to like give an else statement. So it's gonna be lower than the 20. So it's gonna be a cold day. So we need to write it's a cold day. You maybe you need to get umbrella. I write it randomly, so that's not important. So temperature was 25. So it says it's a warm day, really nice time to walk because it's uh, higher than the 20 degrees and lower than the 30 degrees. So it's a warm day, really nice time to walk. So let's make it higher than the 30. So let's make 50 Celsius degrees. So it's gonna write it's a really hot day. So let's make it lower than 20. Let's make 10. And as you see, it's a cold day. Maybe you need to get umbrella, it says. So this was if, elif, and else statements in Python. So, okay. So let's check it out again. First, Python checks temperature is higher than 30. If it's true, it prints hot day, as you see. And then in the elif, it checks the next line. And if the temperature is equal to 20 or higher than the 20, it says it's a warm day. And else statement here, if both are false, if it's these both are not true, it writes it's a cold day. So, okay. Um, let's remember what we learned in the previous lessons. Python checks from top to bottom and stops at the first true condition. So this is how it works in this statements. So, and let me talk about an important note about these statements and about indentation. And an indentation means leaving spaces at the beginning of a line. Python uses indentation to know which lines belong to which block. So this is the structure of the Python, as I said in the back. If you forget spaces, as spaces I'm in here, and your program will give an error. So let's try it. Let's make this. Let's not put space here. So as you see, it's given an error and not running the program because it's not suitable for Python structure and indentation. So you need to press tab or you need to uh, uh, press the space button 4 times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, as you see. So now it's now running. Okay, so let's learn about the input function in the Python. How do we get user input? Like it's gonna be really look like a good program when we gets an user input. So we don't give ourselves give the data ourselves. We're gonna get it from the user. So it's gonna be more interactive and it's gonna look more like a program, a real program. So we decided things using fixed values, but we can also ask the user for information. For that, we use the inputs function. As I said, the function comes with built-in in the Python. So let's make a quick example. Let's create a variable called name. It needs to equal something. So that's where we going to use our inputs function here. We're going to write input to get information, get input from the um, user. So we're going to write what is your name, for example, because we created a name function variable. So, and we're going to write print the name variable, and before that, we're going to uh, say hello to the user. So we were given, um, we need to write commas here to activate the variable. So in here, the input function stops the program and waits for the user to type something. And when we type something, store the prints function shows a message including the user's input. So we are not given the data ourselves. We are getting data from the user. So that's an interactive thing. Uh, Whatever the name of the user is, it's gonna write by itself. So let's try it. And as you see, it's writes what's your name and stop the program to wait my response here. So I'm going to write Taha, or let's write your name, Yusuf. Yusuf Mete. Let's write Yusuf Mete. Let's write Yusuf. And as you see, it says hello Yusuf. I use space here, so we don't need to use it. Let's run it again. Let's write Yusuf, and it's gonna write hello Yusuf, as you see. So we get an input from the user, so it's more interactive and it looks like more a real program. So that's all good thing. And everything typed with input function is the is text. Yeah. Uh, so that means it's a string, even if it looks like a number. Later, if you need it has a number, we can convert it with int parentheses or float parentheses. We will learn that in the next lesson. So let's make a program to check users' age to get driver's license. Let's make a program like this with all our information that we learned from this lesson. So now we will combine if, elif, else statement and the input function together and do this small program that checks if someone can get a driver's license. So we need to get the information of the user's age. So we need to create an age variable. So, and then, as I said, we don't know what user's gonna give input to us. We are waiting for a string input, but when we ask the um, ask their age, they can write their name. So we are changing the input function here to the integer to make it number. So we're going to write int to make it integer. So we're going to write input. Let's open our quotation marks and enter your age. So, okay. Let's continue. So, let's come to the down. So let's write if. So, if you want to get driver license, you need to be higher than the 18 age. So we're going to write age. If age is higher or equal to 18, um, so we need to write print. You open our quotation marks. You can get a driver um, license. So we're going to give another statement. So we don't uh, we cannot write if statement. So we need to write elif statement. We're going to write age is lower than 18. We're going to print, open our quotation marks, and you are too young to get a driver license. So, and then we need to write else. We're going to write you cannot get a driver's license. So let's run our program. It says enter your age. Let's write 18. And as you see, it says you can get a driver license. But if we write 6, as you see, it's lower than 18. So it says you're too young to get a driver license. And this is the result, as you see. Okay, this was, let's recap what we do and what we learned in this lesson, what we're going to learn in the next lessons. So we learned that if checks a condition and runs code when it's true, elif statement gives more choices, and Python checks them in the order. An else statement runs when all previous conditions are false. The input function that we learned lets us get information from the user, and we can combine conditions using it to check multiple things at the same time. And we learned indentation's importance in the Python. We learned the structure of the Python and why it's important. And okay. In the next lesson, we will learn loops, for and while, to make the computer repeat actions many times, and this will all allow us to create more complex and interesting programs in the next days. So, see you, Yusuf. Good evening.
Goodbye.